We turn our attention to the next final, and all I can say is this: it's become a three-way scrap for this year's Senior Rotax title. Let's have a look at the starting grid for the final on Senior Rotax for day one. So on pole position, Eliska Babichkova will have Kai Gilets alongside on the front row. Dylan LaHaye and Sean Butcher on row number 2. Lachlan Robinson and Jaden Thien, row 3. Vivian Horst and Janis Diak, row 4. Jod van Wijk and Days Dams rounding out the top 10. Job Briefveld, Alan Valster, Petra Babichkova, Sam Bergstein, Paul Christian Hamburg, Scott Westhovens, Jori Schoens, Gustav van Gogh, Alec Verbaert and Enzo van den Dickenberg round out the top 20. Zekai Olsen, Luciano Schneider, Fahe Mega, Martin Geiskens, Rune de Broeke, Sen van Thiel, Boris Koisman, Paul Fokkeman, Nikita Genzer, Louis Gilbert, Erhard Turker and Luca Leiskra ran out the 32 strong. So for Luca Leistra, it looks like there was a exclusion post-race due to a technical discrepancy. But due to the fact that Luca Leistra was found to be underweight post the pre-final, so he will start from the back of the grid, despite having finished just ahead of Jaden Thien, which would have been 6th position. So with the total scores at the moment, it is Gilets now leading on 152 without drop scores taken into consideration. Sean Butcher on 150 and effectively Eliska Babichkova now on 138 points. I said it's going to be a three-way battle now for the title. 14 points separate them. But Gilets has a lower couple of drop scores at the moment, which puts him effectively at the lead of the standings. And it's going to be an interesting development of what happens over the next 13 minutes plus an additional lap. 32 drivers, 13 minutes on the clock, into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? We're lights out and racing first time. Babichova's going to get the whole shot, followed by Dylan LaHaye, but Gilets is going to keep it pinned around the outside, and it's nearly 3 abreast. Gilets uses the runoff area, so does Butcher. Robinson nearly factored in as Jaden Thien, and there has been a 3-car incident. 378. Nikita Genzer, 360, has also been involved in that, and that's Rune de Broeke. And there's more dramas, and Lachlan Robinson is backwards, and there is Sam Bergstein in the 319, and also I think that was the 345 that in there as well, I believe, and that was Devian Rust. And Devian Rust saying to the marshal, no, get away, I want to start the cart up again. So an unfortunate tangle there. Lachlan Robinson exiting straight ahead and backwards. But at the front of the field, Eliska Babichkova leading the way. Gilets in second. LaHaye, Butcher running up the top 4. 5th, that is Janis Diak from Germany, the 339. He's definitely decided to throw his 2 cents into the ring. Now LaHaye trying to look for a move up the inside. Butcher, I think, was just Butcher was still in 4th position. They're all jockeying for position a little bit further back. Days Dams in his BNL Karting Series Senior Rotax debut is up the inside. That's Janis Diak on Sean Butcher. When I spoke with Sean Butcher, he knows that he's got a fight on his hands. He wants to have a 3rd title in succession. But it's easier said than done. If the wet weather had been around a little bit longer, it might have been that great equaliser that the grip was looking for. But now we have a new race leader. It's Kai Gilets in the 374 ahead of Eliska Babichkova. LaHaye in 3rd, Stiak, Butcher, Dams. And then we've also got Jod van Wijk running at the top 7 ahead of Jaden Thien. Job Briefveld now in 9th ahead of Petra Babichkova, who's hit the top 10. And she started in 13th position. Petra Babichkova really trying to do some great moves, and she's just got past Adam Valster. And so, in the process, has Jori Schoen, Scott Westhovenson, Farin Mega. Farin Mega started down in 23rd. He's now currently in what is now going to be 13th position. 10 places gained in the opening 2 laps from the German. Phillips has pulled away. Lahey now up into second past Babičková. Janishtiak waiting in the wings to see if he can get past. Oh, a bit of a send. Further back, there might have been possibly, yeah, it was Jori Schoens on Alan Valster. Lahey keeping ahead of Eliska Babičková in the 3:57. Janishtiak is giving her plenty of pressure from behind. She runs over the curbs through turn 5. Stiak up the inside through turn 6. And he runs wide. And that allows Babičková to close in. Butcher puts the 301 Cosmic chassis from KR Sport towards the outside of turn 7 to see if he can maybe do an effective cut through on turn 8 without having to force the door open. Jane Thien is keeping with them. Bliefeld, Van Wijk, Petra Babičková, Jori Schoens, Adam Valster and Farin Mega, and Scott Westhoven's and GKS's Gusse van Gogh rounding out the top 15 positions. And, well, that might not be for much longer, Gusse van Gogh, because you've got Lewis Gilbert right up your back bumper. And Lewis Gilbert started down in 29th position. The Scotsman, based out of Ayrshire, now up into 16th position and climbing. Sean Butcher now gets past Eliska Babičková, and there is Jaden Thien, like a thief in the middle of the night. And I hope Thierry Dion were watching, and I just said that. But also, Jaden Thien has got past Sean Butcher. So the title dynamic is now swinging in the favour on this day to Kai Rillertz. Butcher nearly loses the back end coming through the exit of turn number 9. Trying to take a different line, but keep with Thien. Babičková is behind him. Liefeld is in the mix there too, but Butcher's got back ahead of Jaden Thien. Babičková is going to get the run through turns 1 and 2. This is a gaggle of 5. And Jaden Thien gets past by Job Liefeld. Waiting in the wings, he stays down. He's having a great showing at the moment. Placed 10th in the first race with the pre-final earlier on. Finished just before 1:30 this afternoon. So we're getting a bit too close for comfort. A little bit further back from Rillertz. A little bit further behind. Farin Mega trying to make some headway whilst the sun shines. Got past Adam Valster for position. Lewis Gilbert is there in the 3:29. And he's going to get through on Valster, who tries to go up the inside of Mega. And Farin Mega, well, that is actually the 3:07 of Francis Paul Fokema. So both Gilbert and Fokema get past. So a good switch from the pair of them. So Farin Mega finds himself in 13th position. Paul Fokema, 3 laps ago, set the fastest lap of anybody. I don't think it's going to be that much longer before Kai Rillertz does break that, because Rillertz was about half a tenth of a second behind in terms of pure lap pace. He did a 55.068 on his previous lap. So 6 minutes and 25 seconds plus an additional lap still remaining in the Senior Rotax final. On day 1 of the final weekend of our 15th anniversary season. René de Bruyker unfortunately out, so is Paul Christian Hamburg, and in the meantime, Eliska Babičková has got past Sean Butcher. Erhard Turker has made a pretty good recovery as well. He's up to 21st. His Turkish countryman Zekai Ozen a couple of places behind, despite the fact that Zekai Ozen actually started in 21st position when the racing got underway. Lewis Gilbert now ahead of Paul Fokema. into the final 5.5 minutes. And Lachlan Robinson has started sliding his way through the field, having been bumped exit stage left on the outskirts of turn 6 onto the Europalan. He's now up into, I think, 21st position now, after that move through, well, it was actually 22nd. Having got past Zikayosen rather quickly, and there's a send from Farin Mega up the inside of the 365 of Yori Schoens as they went onto the Europalan. And Farin's mum, Nina, one of the many photographers here this weekend, including a few other people from the media, including Michael Mellis, Lucas Winderlich, Luke as well, who's very much into working on social medias these days. 4 minutes and 40 plus an additional lap. The gap slightly extends, but we've had 2 drivers go into the high 54s. And those are the drivers in 4th and 5th respectively. So Liska Babičková fastest lap of the race 2 tours ago, 54.924 seconds. Sean Butcher, 54.998. And that was on the same lap. We're on to lap number 10. Lewis Gilbert manages to steamroll his way past Paul Fokema through turn 6 onto the Europalan. Farin Mega was looking for an opportunity to do so too, but could not get it. Paul Christian Hamburg and Nina de Broeke exiting on the very first lap. We still had 30 drivers. Not so much of an attrition fest as it was in the pre-final earlier on. Things are stabilising a little bit further at the front of the field. Now Kaya Helix has extended the lead. He has to just over 8.7 tenths. And that's his personal best. He's just set 55.068. A tenth and a bit behind Eliska Babičkova's fastest lap of the race. His sister Petra, meantime, has got herself into the top 9. So well done to her. Both the Babičkova sisters have made some progress all the way through this weekend. Paul Fokema up the inside of Lewis Gilbert. The Scotsman drifts wide. Nearly gets a little bit of a touch from Farin Mega, who has had quite a lot of momentum going through into turn number 7. Gilbert was able to control his kart with resolve and racecraft at the same time, and it did not allow Yori Schoens to get through. Gilbert this time does not extend his lap, it sort of stabilises around about 8.5 tenths of a second ahead of Dylan LaHaye. The driver that is closing down on the number 348, who I do know is a pretty good DJ in his spare time. Take, for instance, the 24 hours of karting Genk the first weekend of June. I was on commentary, he was on the decks. It was only when I went downstairs and found out that it was him. I couldn't have really told him to turn the music down, could I? But LaHaye himself, a 2-time senior road tax champion. I still remember famously in 2019 he qualified for Sarno and promptly said to the organisation, I'm not going, it's too close to Sarno, and Clayton Ravenscroft could take the ticket. Oh, nice little move there. That was the 343 of Gustav van Gogh on the 366 of Alec Verbert. Adam Falster battling away with Erhard Turker. Farin Mega's now got past Paul Fokema for 10th place. Peter Genza might have just got past Loris Koisman for 26th. And there is Farin Mega ahead of Loris Koisman. Ahead of Paul Fokema. There's Lachlan Robinson now into the top 20. And that will be being past Alec Verbert in number 366 from Bouvin Power. Coming up to 1 minute and a quarter on the clock remaining. Gilbert is looking pretty good. He dominated the opening round of the season, don't forget. A clean sweep of 4 victories. I mean, at Marienborg, the highest place was final 2 on the Sunday afternoon, where he managed to place 16th at the end of it all. Oh, sorry, had a 16 points finish, which is effectively equates to 3rd place. Petra Babičková is now in the top 8, so her sister Eliska now in 4th position. Good showing by Petra, up from 13th on the grid. Now up into 8th with a genuine chance of maybe going for a P6 finish at highest. Into the last 20 or so seconds of the race before we go on to the final lap. Jaden Thiem is a bit far away from Sean Butcher. He's got to keep his eyes on Job Liefeld and Petra Babičková just behind. Phillips crosses the line, 4 seconds to go. The gap is still nearly 7/10 as the Belgian from Tremelo, just 16 years of age, makes his way through turn number 2. Thiem being closed in by Liefeld and Petra Babičková. So number 303, based out of Susteren in the Netherlands. He's one of the competitors in Minimax at Sarno for Dutch Lions. And also was runner-up last year, having taken his ticket from the Rotax Golden Trophy late last year here at this very circuit, and went on to finish ahead of Kai Phillips before they both moved up into seniors this year. So the timer has expired, one more lap to go after this, so about 1,500 metres for the 374 of JJ Racing's Kai Phillips to negotiate ahead of the 348 of Steely senior Rotax veteran and two-time BNL Karting Series champion Dylan LaHaye. Gap between them now 6.5 tenths as we go onto the last lap. Lap number 16 underway. So the leader making his way into turn number 6. Onto the other plan for the final time. Liefeld waiting, gets a bit close in the braking zone. That's going to allow Petra Babičková to close on in for the 304. I'm sure that those that are part of the fan club called the Observers, and by his mum, of course, wonderful lady, they're probably cheering him on the stream for those that have joined us so far all the way through the course of the day. Apologies for the technical issues that we've had, but we managed to get those resolved. Please just don't worry if the camera gets a bit wavy. There is a little bit of a wind pickup that there's been over the course of the day, but it's Kai Phillips that wins the final on day number 1, bringing his tally of 5 victories so far this season. Dylan LaHaye in 2nd, Janis Diak having started 8th, placed 3rd did the German. Eliska Babičková a win in the opening race, and P4 here in the final. Sean Butcher rounds out the top 5 ahead of Jaden Thiem. Job Liefeld, Petra Babičková makes it, but the 2 Babičková sisters make it into the top 8 ahead of Fabian Mega with Days Dams. Another top 10 finish for the young Belgian in his BNL Senior Rotax debut. So Paul Fokema, Lewis Gilbert makes a great run up the order from 30th on the grid to finish P12 at the end of 16 laps. Jordi Schoens, Luca Leistra and Ehad Tucker at the top 15. So a great job by 2 that got involved in an incident, 1 that was excluded post-race, into the top 15. Adam Valster just outside of the points. Lachlan Robinson recovered to 17th, ahead of Jort van Wijk. Scott Westhovens and Gussie van Gogh running out the top 20. Sam van Thiel, Enzo van der Dickerberg, Martin Geiskens, Zekai Olsen, Alec Verbout, Nikita Genza, Loris Koisman, Sam Bergstein, Demian Rost and Luciano Schneider running out the top 30. But unfortunately on the opening lap we lost Paul Christian Hamburg and Rune de Borka.